Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Steven Dow. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing really, really well. I got a busy day. Usually I'm kind of measured. I do hour discussions, only use 40 minutes. Today, I
Right.
got lots of little 30-minute discussions, which is awesome.
I
It
know I'm
just
feeling
means we got,
rushed.
yeah, you feeling rushed. Hey, but I want to talk about Velocity Mortgage. So do me a favor, do
Mhm.
that marketing thing first.
Sure. Again, although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel, that of my own. So let's get it going.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things going on. And again, folks can go back on your playlist to see that we really spoke about these things. First and foremost, as interest rates rose on traditional or conventional mortgage, we are going to see non-QM lenders take more and more market share, right? The gap or margin or spread or whatever you want to call that between an investor loan, conventional, and a non-QM lenders is the smallest I've seen in a long, long time. And then you add on top of that the level of service, the ease of doing business, and a line that you brought to me, I think, in our first discussion, a make sense lender.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be paramount for the next 6, 9, 12 months, because I know there's a lot of one rental at a time fans hunting, doing
Mm-hmm.
work, getting creative, 50, 40, 90s, or things like that. We
Right.
have Matt, the lumberjack, bailing out a family with the 50, 40, 10, for example. So
That
there's a
was a
lot of,
great move on his part. That was a win-win
yeah.
for everybody, specifically the elderly couple that was living in the property. Yeah, it's a good story, man. So once we make it to the finish line, maybe Matt will share with you. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's some good work that guy's doing all the way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just
So
good, putting some good karma on the board. I like it.
wicked smart, that guy. That guy's wicked smart.
Wicked smart. But I want to
Yeah.
read you a note. I get notes like this a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
want to read you a note from a client of yours.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hi guys, I wanted to take time out to thank you all for such elite service and experience with this loan. I'll be honest, my wife and I were freaking out because everything seemed to be too smooth and organized compared to our other experience with loan officers. However, however, from the consultation with Steve, the intake process with Elaine, and the back end closing with, I'm going to say UN,
Win.
Win. I guess
Yeah.
I was wrong. Win.
It
I
always
couldn't
gets
ask.
butchered.
I couldn't ask for anything better. I'm grateful and happy we went with you guys. Have a blessed week. I hope we can keep doing business soon." So there's a couple of things in that note. First, obviously, level of service, teamwork, pipeline. You do what you say. That was
Mhm.
exactly my experience when you gave me 30-year money on an office building and 30-year money on apartments. Shout out for this level of service, and your team did for me. But now, I mean, we have dozens of other examples like this one. But what I want to talk about here is you're going to get more and more investors reaching out to you going, let me pitch this deal. Let me pitch this deal. Let me talk. Because again, if the margin between a bank, traditional lender, and non-QM is a whisper, the level of service and speed, entities, all these things that you do as a make sense lender really, really pay off, I think.
Oh, by far. I mean, I'm getting a huge uptick in business because either certain lenders did away with, similar programs, or lenders just closed their doors altogether, whether they, be local private or larger institutional lenders. But I'm definitely seeing a larger uptick because, like you said, the spread between, my loans, 30-year fixed, stated income, easier to qualify. You can hold title as an entity. So many different other, options for you that conventional doesn't allow for. It really makes for a really compelling argument to use the product, you know, in instead of having to go conventional, because again, it's just so much easier. The speed, 17, 18 days typically for residential from start to finish. Not much in the way of paperwork. Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not much to disqualify you. So there's not much in the way of, surprises or hiccups or move, you know what I mean? So there
Yeah.
are the instances of people got sick, an uncooperative tenant doesn't want to let somebody into the property to do the appraisal, title's taking a long time to get us, the prelim, insurance agent, things of that nature, where third-party performance, we have to rely on. But otherwise, it's a pretty smooth process. I try to explain to people from the beginning, but just, dude, I think PTSD from previous experiences from loan processes or lenders that didn't quite go the way it's planned or explained. I think
Well,
that's where, yeah.
That's why I tested you. I mean, I've had, and I told you this, right? I had
Yeah, you
lenders
did.
whisper sweet nothings in my ear 5 or 6 times. And every time it was a disaster. And, I think a couple of times I lost a couple of grand, right? Because you pay for appraisals up front, and then they sing a song to you, and then suddenly, oh, by the way, we need this and we need that. And I'm like, what happened? Sorry, that management wanted it. I'm like, oh, you just salesman, you lied to me. And,
Right.
we didn't move forward. So, yeah, you came through. Everything you told me would happen happened. It was awesome. And I can't tell you how appreciative I am now, having 30-year lock on apartments and or multifamily and
And
office.
you and many others, I'm sure that last year and earlier this year that we capitalized on some really good low rates. Oh, they're like, oh, thank goodness,
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
gentleman, I gave him a shout out last time, Will. He watches regularly, so he was like, hey, thanks for the shout out. But yeah, he was like, oh my goodness, he said it wish he would have stayed a little bit lower because we would have just killed it even further. But yeah, he's very
Yeah.
appreciative.
Yeah, but the whole idea is we got to deal with what we have now, right? And I think we're heading into a
Hmm.
market. We even have Ken McElroy warning about multifamily and apartments,
Hmm.
talking about
Hmm.
bridge debt, talking about LPs losing money, and just a
Yep.
lot of deals blowing up and forced sales.
Hmm.
So I want one rental at a time fans to know what I've been warning about for 6 or 9 months in multifamily is coming.
Hmm.
So keep hunting, keep doing the work. There will be forced sales. There are LPs that have already lost their money and don't know.
Right.
But there will be deals, right? Fear is right here and opportunity is here.
Just do the work, and then you'll have all this like yay behind you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah, do the work. And again, another thing you got to remember, folks, is I think it's rule number 3: network, meet more people. A lot of you have a lender. A lot of you don't realize that lenders change their mind. They go from being extremely easy to hard. They change LTVs. They change this. They change that. Lenders really will never not be in the business. They'll just make it so hard and so many hoops to jump through. It just, that's what, no deals get done. That's coming.
right, right. They'll
So
just cherry
if
pick.
you'll, yeah, they'll cherry pick. So if you only have one lender, I strongly suggest you reach out to Mr. Steven Dowd to just get him in your Rolodex and see what's what. Tell him what you're doing. Make sure he lends where you are, because they don't lend everywhere.
Right,
They lend most places, but not everywhere.
right.
And then you have all these other programs, right? The 50/40/10, 90% CLTV, awesome.
Hmm.
You have that 30-year fixed 10-year IO period, awesome.
Hmm.
There
Hmm.
are just things that investors can start to use. So talk about all that.
Well, again, and I know I've been on the channel for so long that sometimes from the previous videos we've done, maybe people haven't started from the beginning because that's over a year ago. So to now, so they might have forgot. But a lot of the useful features of the product, such as you can hold title as an entity or as an individual, where conventionally you cannot. You're maxed out at 10 loans with on the conventional side, where with us you're not. As far as any seasoning of new entities to hold title under, we don't have any restrictions in reference to that. We do allow the seller to contribute towards the buyer's non-recurring closing costs. Let's see here. Your down payment only needs to be sourced, not seasoned. Our loans don't report to the credit bureaus, so they will never impact your FICO scores. That allows for people to do joint ventures or partnerships that doesn't really ruin someone else's credit if something goes sideways as far as derogatory mortgage payments or things of that nature. I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, the types of properties that we would lend on don't typically pass the smell test in reference with on conventional. It's a little tighter of a window. And yeah, other than that, no personal income documentation in the way of what we call stated income. So
Sure.
it's for your normal self-employed investor or somebody that really plays an aggressive tax game. You're either going to pay the bank or Uncle Sam. So we're really
Yeah.
tailor-made for that. Loan amount ranges are really convenient because it's like all the way down to 75,000 up to 6.7 million so far. So
Yeah.
I mean, you really got a lot of wiggle room in between. And then in
And
reference
you
to
do
multifamily,
portfolio. Yeah, you do
yes,
portfolio loans. You can
100%
house
blanket
hack
loans.
apartment buildings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, in reference to apartment buildings, specifically on the multifamily side, no debt service ratio required either on loan amounts below 500,000 on refis and below 750 on purchases. So in smaller markets, super helpful. Even higher end residential stuff. I mean, we're really comfortable with debt service, and anything above 2 million, you're never going to get that DSCR with any other program. So if you can't get that conventional, come see Uncle Steve.
Yeah. Uncle Steve. I like that little twist. I like that. We got to get you that shirt or something, Uncle Steve. At the end of the day, my personal experience in a couple of deals, it was as fast, as easy as you said. You didn't ask for any extra documentation, which is not normal given my experience. Having a non-QM lender in your Rolodex is paramount. I actually have several, as you know.
It's like a Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? If you're going camping, you might as well throw me in your pocket, just in case. If you're out there hunting, you never know, you might need me, So I know it won't be everything to everybody, but yes. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the beauty about non-QM lenders and why I have several is you all focus and offer different things.
Right. We stay in our lanes, kind of. Yeah.
Stay in your lanes, right? So you just find people that run parallel, and hey, if it works over here, it works over there. It's awesome. So again, that 90% CLTV, what now I call the 50-40-10, is something I expect to utilize a lot over the next 12 months, because we are heading into the winter. Not only in real life, but the housing depression is here. There's a lot of people going to be in pain. Buyers are disappearing left and right as rates go to 7, investors to 8. And, I'm sitting here prepared because I did the work early. I've been doing the work every day, and I'm excited. And I wanted you to know, as we've talked privately, you're going to be a big part of that. Because if I can take, I don't know, $1 million just for example, cash, and buy 10 million in 50-40-90 or 50-40-10s, I'll be a happy man.
Oh, well, I mean, Matt's actually utilizing that 50-40-10 concept. So, you know what I mean? So it was, I mean, initially when we were just talking about it right on, on the video, and it just was like really organic as we were going over what my guidelines were. And you're like, you know what? Okay, we'll call it 50-40-10. And, wait, tell me back again. You could go to again. And so I think right then and there, it was kind of sudden too, but I didn't think that it would be really as powerful. But a lot of people are really utilizing it. It just, again, depends on the scenario. It's not going to fit every situation, but when it does, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I'm trying to get better at this year is every time there's a market shift, I want to add more tools to my tool belt. So some of these are lending tools, some of these are negotiating tools. I need to be better. I'm not done. The beauty of real estate investing is you can always get better and always learn more stuff. So I want to thank you for being a part of my team, a part of this channel, and again, congratulations on the wonderful note. Those are awesome to see. So where can people find you if they want to reach out, grow their network, talk about a deal, understand what's going on?
Yeah, again, just email me, sdao@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, just put the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rental at a time. In the body of the email, brief description, maybe what you're looking for. Property address would be great, or at least the city and state where you're looking to invest in, to make sure we invest there or lend there. And then, of course, your mid-FICO score would be super helpful, and the best number to reach at. And typically 24 to 48 hours, I'll be in touch. Doing the email to go back and forth, it's a little difficult right now with the overwhelming response. Obviously, I talk very quickly, so I could talk a lot faster than I could type. So it's typically you'll start with the email, but leave your phone number, because if I could call you right back, it'd be a lot easier. Sometimes I don't even have time to email you because it's just a flood of all responses, which, don't get me wrong, I'm so appreciative, so grateful that, the lovely comment. Again, I know who that couple is. Thank you very much. It was great working with them as well. And it's been a pleasure just being, part of this channel, because everybody I get to meet is just so sincerely grateful and appreciative of the information and the stuff that we do on this channel. Because I mean, I know you don't have to do a lot of this stuff, you know what I mean? But I definitely get, feedback, and it's been really rewarding in many levels. So thanks, Mike.
Awesome. Again, sdow@velocitymortgage.com, 5 letters and 5 letters only in the subject line. It gets you through the firewall. It's ORAAT. And then whatever you want to put on the email, go for it. All right, buddy.
Andrew, I'm replying to you right now, so don't worry. I know it's been a couple of days. Apologies. It's the end of the month, so it's really hectic here.
End of the month is tough for you. End of quarter too. End of month, end of quarter.
Yes. Well, that too. So everybody's with mad dash to try to make it to the finish line. So I got a couple other loans to fund today's last day actually too. So anyway,
All
thanks,
right,
Mike.
go get to work. You got to go. Bye.
All right, man. Take care. Bye bye.